Picture this. It's game day, you're in the locker room getting ready, and while your teammates are doing the same old static stretches and light jogging, you are activating a specific neuromuscular pattern that's going to double your game speed. When you do it right, it makes you feel like you have rockets strapped to your skates. This isn't some complicated routine that takes forever. It's a simple 10 to 15 minute high quality weight training routine that NHL players and other elite hockey athletes use to give them that unfair advantage right from the opening faceoff. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to flip that switch on your nervous system and skate faster than you ever thought possible. For that, I'm going to first show you the science behind this pre-game power boost, why and how it works. Don't worry, I will not bury you under an avalanche of fitness jargon. I will keep things so simple, even a 6-year-old can understand everything. Next, I will walk you through the 3 main practical takeaways from the published research. And finally, I will show you how to take that information and apply it in the weight room by giving you a few example workouts with specific exercises, sets, and reps to instantly spike your speed. That means you can hit the gym today if you wanted to and enter tonight's game feeling like you got rockets in your skates. To kick off, let's quickly look at the findings from 2 relevant sports performance studies so that you understand that yes, there is scientific research and validation behind this training method. I didn't just come up with something that has no basis in reality. The first study is more general in that it used team sport athletes, whereas the second one is specifically applicable to hockey because it used NHL and AHL players as research subjects. In the first study, they had team sport athletes perform a low volume power type training session and then measured how their performance changed or didn't change at 2 different points, 24 and 48 hours after the workout. Long story short, the athletes performed 5 sets of 4 reps of jump squats at 40% of their half squat 1 rep max with 3-minute rest periods. 24 hours after that workout, the athlete's vertical jump increased by 5% compared to the baseline, and their rate of force development also significantly improved, meaning they were able to produce more force faster. This study came out in 2018, and I expand on its findings in my book, Strength Training for Ice Hockey, chapter 13 to be exact, which is filled with in-season training tips for improved performance. You can read more about it at the link that will show up somewhere here on the screen. I'll add it in the description below as well. The second study comes from Sébastien Lagrange, who is a strength coach up in Montreal and works with elite hockey players. This research paper used NHL and AHL players as test subjects and compared how performing a contrast workout of trap bar deadlifts with box jumps 4 hours before versus 8 hours before a game impacted the athlete's performance on the vertical jump, broad jump, and on-ice sprints. Both groups saw improvements in power and speed, but the 8-hour group had bigger gains than the 4-hour group because the longer recovery window washed away more fatigue from the workout. Now that we have a basic understanding of the science, let's talk about how we can put this information into practice by creating an effective pre-game power session. The first big takeaway is that lifting weights during hockey season does not hurt your performance. Quite the opposite. When it's done intelligently, you can jump higher and skate faster. Every athlete wants that. So do not shy away from the weight room, but figure out how you can use it to create an unfair advantage your opponents don't have. The second big takeaway is timing. Performing a low volume power workout before a hockey game improves your power and speed compared to not training at all leading up to the event. Based on the available research so far, the effective time window for that is between 4 and 48 hours before the competition, and the optimal time window is somewhere between 8 and 24 hours. Let's say puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. Scheduling a workout before noon or even last night will carry over so that your nervous system is amped up from the first shift on. None of that, I gotta take a few easy early shifts to get my legs going. No. As soon as you step on the ice, you feel ready. This is huge. The third big takeaway relates to training volume and reps and sets. I will never forget how PK Subban strength coach Clarence Lalor described hockey players in his book Dominate. Lalor said they are fatigue seekers, and I couldn't agree more. Because hockey players have been conditioned to chase fatigue in the gym, you must resist the urge to pile on more exercises and reps just because. The whole point of this short power session is to prime you for the upcoming game, not to make you tired. In the second study on NHL and AHL players, they used just 3 work sets. I repeat, 3 sets. First, they performed 5 reps of trap bar deadlifts at 85% of 1 RM, rested 15 seconds, and finished with 6 reps of 20-inch box jumps. Then, after a 4-minute break, they did the same thing 2 more times. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Excluding the warm-up, this workout took less than 15 minutes to complete. You don't need to do more. In fact, trying to do more will only end up diminishing the potentiation effect of the pre-game power session. So all that work you did was for nothing. Cool. But what if you don't have a trap bar or you don't have a box to jump on to do this exact workout? As long as you understand the driving principle behind this method, which is to excite the nervous system with an explosive exercise, you can easily replicate the effect with different movements. Loaded jumps, as was the case in the first study we looked at, using an Olympic bar or trap bar is probably the easiest starting point, at least when it comes to the equipment and technical ability required. Both bars are widely available at most gyms, and if they aren't, you should switch to a gym that does have them. And jumping up with a bar on your back or in your hands, anyone can do it. Power cleans would also qualify for guys who know how to perform them with good technique and bar speed. If you want to get a bit fancier, you can replicate what they did in the second study by picking a contrast set, using a relatively heavy strength exercise combined with a jump. Pretty much any loaded explosive movement that requires a significant contribution from the hips and legs, because that's where all your skating power comes from, will do to trigger the potentiation effect we want. With that in mind, here are 3 example sessions to do in that optimal 8 to 24 hour window before your next hockey game. First, trap bar jump. 5 sets of 4 reps, resting 3 minutes between sets. Keep the load light enough so that you can put some distance between your feet and the ground. Second sample workout. Power cleans from the hang, floor, or off blocks, depending on which variation you feel most comfortable with. 5 doubles at 80 to 85% of 1 RM. Accelerate the bar with as much speed as you can. Take 4 minutes between sets. Third, a contrast set of 1 squat at 80 to 85% of 1 RM, focusing on moving the weight up fast, then 60 seconds of rest, followed by 4 reps of band-assisted jumps. Rest 4 minutes before your next set and perform 4 total contrast sets. So that's exactly how you boost your skating speed with 1 quick and effective workout. But that's just the beginning. If you're serious about dominating on the ice, you need a full routine designed for NHL level performance. Ready to unlock your true potential and become a total beast on the ice? Then click here for my complete NHL off-season workout. This isn't just a workout, it's your blueprint to elite level hockey performance. Check it out.